Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some exciting news for Infinite Lagrange. We've got Phase 4 coming. So at the current moment we've got the dual phase, which is like 2 or 2.5, where you've got the two agreements, one you sign before going in, the other one you sign, and that's to help the privateers. Phase 3, we have the Trogite system. Phase 1 is just the starting system. Sorry, I missed that one. And Phase 3 is the Trogite agreement. And we now have Phase 4, the Data Rescue Agreement. So this is gameplay stuff is on their website. So I'll have a link down below to this specific page, so you can go have a read yourself. But we're going to go through and have a look what's coming, and yeah, it looks quite interesting. I've had a little bit of a read already. So I'll scroll down a bit so you can look at this image while I read through all the fun stuff. You can also skip this bit if you want. Later in the Galactic War, the Star HD 232b at the center of Fire Seeker's system had an abnormal emission of high radiation, affecting almost the entire star system. Above 70% of the cities, space stations, buildings, and fleet system-wide received severe damage. So did the protection facilities of the L893 gate, making the Stargate unable to run. The stellar emission phenomenon continues till now, and the entire star system has already been classified as a danger zone. I've been watching Archer recently, and yeah, danger zone. Some factions even closed the relevant nodes connecting to the Fire Seeker system in the Lagrange network. In the following decades, this phenomenon occurred and caused widespread devastation in multiple star systems. According to the report on the reasons for high radiation emission in some star systems and their network loss situation, there are abnormal changes in space warping at the Lagrange points. It may affect the gravity at the core of stars, lead to high energy emissions from the interior of them irregularly, and thus cause severe damage to the entire star system. This phenomenon is academically called space warping vibration, also commonly known as warping reverberation. Isn't reverberation specifically to do with sound? Anyway, the Antonius Consortium was also affected by the disaster. Some of the star systems run by them have already begun to have space warping vibration. Radiation of high levels is emitted at irregular intervals, affecting the star system environment. The consortium's management decided to transfer the valuable assets out of these star systems, including large amounts of experiment data, as soon as possible. Therefore, the Data Rescue Agreement has been issued to recruit experienced explorers to rescue experiment data from these star systems full of danger. So, interesting image, and I thought I'd leave that there so you can look at that while I'm reading through that. For one specific reason. That ship in the middle, I have no idea what it is. This is an Eternal Storm. This, I'm pretty certain, is a Winged Hussar. And so is that one. And so is that one. And so is that one, potentially. But this, I have no idea. So this could be where we're going to see, due to the fact it's got a huge cannon by the looks of it here, by the way. It could be some kind of turret or something, potentially. Yeah, I think this might very well be either we're seeing an auxiliary ship here for the first time or a battleship here for the first time. So Phase 4 might be where we finally get to play around with even bigger ships, which are slower. And no one uses the slow ships in the first place. So we'll see how these actually turn out, because if they are slower than battle cruisers, especially the likes of the ST-59, I wonder how much gameplay you really will get out of these. Anyway, fleet affected by high energy emission. The image of the display only does not represent the final quality. From the intel we have, there is a set pattern for the abnormal stellar activity. It can be divided into the rising stage, peak stage and declining stage. The scope of the radiation zone in the star system will change with the intensity of the stellar activity. So we can see here we've got the rising star stage, which I don't quite understand. I don't know what are these planets? Oh, we've got a thing here. Secure zones, jet zones. Ah, okay. I kind of see what's going on here. The peak stage, you've got these jet zones coming out, and the secure zones are behind planets, basically. So trying to hide behind planets, and these jet zones going in and then back out. Yeah, we can sort of see it here a little bit better. During their abnormal activity, stars emit lots of high radiation at intervals, hindering the operation of cities, space stations, and fleets. Some of the planets can block stellar jets so that the areas behind them are not susceptible to the high energy emission from stars. You can take these areas as your security zones. So people are going to be fighting over these security zones, no doubt. Because I'm guessing in any other place, things just get blown up. I have to see though. The screen checking for stellar activity, this image is display only, and does not represent the final quality. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. There are many experiment centers and observation stations with the storage of encapsulated data scattered across these star systems. These data are targets of attention and protection for each faction. Some sort of operation here with the large mining vessel. An experiment ruins where data rescuing is ongoing. Yeah, there you go. Up till now, the warping reverberation phenomenon has drawn close attention from the majority of the galactic factions. Both the future research into it and its development will have a profound influence on the landscape of the entire Lagrange network. We will gradually... Why was I going to say individually? We will gradually reveal the detailed gameplay of the data rescue agreement and the development rating rules in these star systems in the future. Please stay updated for more information. So I have a feeling this is going to have a bit of trogite in there. As in, when you take these cities, they produce experiments and that kind of stuff. You go, you get them per hour, and then maybe you have to grab them and deliver them to some stations or something like that, is how I guess it might work. So you got the element of trogite there, as in, you're grabbing the trogite, you delivering it. So maybe something similar is going on here as well. There's a really nice effect here on this this radiation emission. I'm guessing it's just solar flares, right? Is that what they're just saying? The star is on its way out, so it's just going absolutely batty and solar flaring the crap out of everything. So, really interested, definitely looking forward to this, especially if we get more information on the ships going to be available. Considering that is an eternal storm, this definitely looks a little bit bigger, but that could also be the perception of this being in the foreground, that being in the background. So it could be the same size, maybe more battle cruisers, but I doubt that somewhat. I'd expect to see the battleships or the auxiliary ships or something like that. Should be getting something like that soon. Anyway, some interesting news for certain for Infinite Lagrange. We have been waiting for new phases for a little bit now. I'm in phase 3 for the second time. Normally we've been in a new phase like every single, well, I have managed that so far anyway. Phase 1, straight into phase 2, straight into phase 3. And yeah, I was expecting phase 4 to be out by the time we'd finished with phase 3, but we've had to go back into phase 3 and do it all over again. So, phase 4 on its way. Let's hope the mega alliances aren't just sat there waiting in the hub as they usually do for something to jump into and ruin everyone's game. But we'll find that out in a bit. Have a good one, guys, and I'll catch you next time.